Okay. We're gonna create fog. How do we create like fog, or else like an environmental lighting part? Okay, which is really good. We can use for larger means a bigger size of scene, or for an ecosystem, or for a smaller size of a scene, which helps you to um, make your show reel better, I can say. So what I'll do is I'll just go with a simple um, an interior part first now, something like this. Okay, then I'm gonna delete off these two faces. See, I deleted these two faces. Then what I do, I need a window over here. So again, a simple thing. So something, I'm just creating it something like this. Okay, select both. Select this and this. I'll go to mesh boolean and a boolean. Okay, these are an easy steps. Earlier you see, like when we have explained this in my 18, you have union, you have intersection, you have difference, only three things, but you have so many things now. Okay, it's a minus b I give. Okay, not a minus b. I think I should give mesh boolean. It's b minus a. Great, I got it. Then I'm gonna select this face. I'll delete it. So it did add mesh. So I think this has to come out. Then I delete like this, right? Then what I do is from here, right? Anyhow, I'm gonna render the scene from this particular area. So the thing what I do is, first thing I delete by type history and normals. Okay, the normals. I'll just come to mesh display, just reverse it. So that inside you have this display part properly, but outside you have this. Okay, so it's something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna add a few of the kind of an iron rods over here. So what I'll do is this particular part. So first thing is I'll go to wireframe. So just I'm gonna increase this over here. So how do you find this? Like, is modeling easier for you? Bunga, Bayanda, is modeling easier for you guys, or this is complicated?
It was complicated at first, but now it's easier. So.
Good to know. So whenever you're free, you just try to create, this will keep you occupied, and every time when you create something, mm, obviously, for your portfolio, it will be really stronger. Means you can make your portfolio stronger. Okay, this is some sort of a simple rods, like which I have created. But anyhow, you can create some other designs and all. Okay, so or else normally how it will be in our home. I'll just make it 90. I'll place this here. This will be even smaller, like a thin rod it is. Control D, Shift D. Okay. Then along with that, I'm gonna add these wooden sort of boxes, logs, right? There will be few wooden logs like this. Like this. Okay. This is how normally the windows will be, right? Now, say I'm not gonna create any other things here. So you can add sofa or some TV set, or if you want to make, you can make it like a room. So the purpose of I'm like creating is how do we create that fog system, or um, uh, that volume, okay, that light volume. How do we bring that light volume into this? Okay. So now I'm gonna set up a view for render part. So I'll just click on this resolution gate. It's something like this. Then I'll go to view, select camera. I'm gonna set key this. Select the view, select camera, and press S for animation, set key. Okay. So what happens? So when I go in any way, any direction, then you click on this frame. Automatically it comes for this view, so that I can render the scene. So I'll come to Maya software here, and I'm not gonna change any of the preset, just the software. Okay, and I'll take a render. I'm able to get an output something like this. Okay, and I'll keep this image. So just click on this keep image. Okay, my image is placed here. Then what I'll do, I'm gonna create light, which is of default Maya lights. There are 6 Maya lights are there. This I have already explained in the last time. So I'll take a spotlight here, then go to panels, look through selected. I'm gonna see through the spotlight now. Okay, see through. So look through the selected. So this is my spotlight. I want to place my spotlight somewhere here, and I'm gonna press 7. What it will do when I press 7? So only that particular area, it's gonna illuminate it. So in that case, I just do it like this, something like this. Then I'll go to panels, perspective, come back to perspective. So what happens? F for focus. So you means it's like we have placed the spotlight here, and because of the light, it is gonna illuminate this much of area. Okay, that's the plan here. And you press T. T for what? Target. When you press T, automatically you get another pivot point, which is called target, and you are able to move your direction. You can move the light directions. Okay, you can customize it. Now what I'll do, this is a spotlight which I'm using. Then I'm gonna take a render. So this is where the illumination is happening. But let me just select the spotlight. I'll go back to the I'll go to attribute of it. In the spotlight, the cone angle is 40. Penumbra is nothing but the sharpness. So what I'll do, I'll go for an IPR. Okay, IPR stands for interactive photorealistic rendering, and I am selecting the region here. And penumbra, if I increase the penumbra to 10, what happens? The light spreads, right? This is something really cool. It spreads. This is what we wanted. Now, along with that, I would like to add, see, this is the direct lighting. Okay, I'll tell you the steps. So just consider this as a sunlight. I can change the color of the sunlight, which is something like this. I can increase the intensity as brighter. Okay, something like this. So now this is the direct lighting, right? Now in the house itself, when the light falls on particular surface and it bounces back, that's indirect lighting. You need to consider both. When the light hits the object directly, that's a direct lighting. When the light hits the object and the light bounces from that particular object and illuminates another area, that's indirect lighting. Okay, and this entire process is called global illumination. Okay, so now you might have noticed in your room or in your place, like where you're living, just one window is open and that's the only source. Just assume, like you haven't turned on the lights. But what happens? Since your wall colors or wall paint and all, it is white in color, when the light hits the particular surface, obviously light will bounce back and it illuminates some other area. So this is how it works. The light will work. So considering that, here I have to create, I don't have that option here, right? The spotlight is doing only that particular job. It is not doing indirect lighting. So what I have to do, I'm going to create one more light. I can take any other light. Let's say I take ambient light. What does ambient light do? Ambient light, it will just illuminate the surface, but overall it's the same. It's not gonna mm, add specular value or anything. No specularity. Ambient light will go, but this will lit every place. So what I'll do, intensity, I'll just make it 0.2. I don't want much of brightness from this particular ambient light. I want this ambient light to act as a secondary light. Okay, that's the plan here. So again, I'm going to take a render from this view. Cool. This is what we are getting. So if I want, see the penumbra, because of spotlight penumbra, this area is not getting illuminated. So we can do other stuffs also. So, but it's okay. Let's see. Now come to the main point. Now this is a cone angle, and if I press T, this is how the target is working. First thing, go to light effects. Go to light effects. Here, light fog. Click on this particular checker box so that you get light fog here. Okay. So now what is happening? The light fog is traveling only up to here. Why? Because automatically when we click on light fog, the cone will extend. It will give an extension. Okay. So that it will represents, or it will show till what area the fog is traveling. So now what I'll do, I'll just come out of this and I'm going to take a render. You're able to see fog up to here. See, you're able to see fog here. This is a light source, and from there fog is up to here. What we want is we need to bring this fog inside our house. Okay, so in that case what I'll do, I'm going to select this. When you select this and press T target, you get this blue colored, okay, a circle. Okay, and when you hover on this, it is changing the color. That means these are clickable items. Clickable. Okay, when I click on this one time, you get something. Second time, third time, fourth time, click 4 times, so that you should get these circles along with number. So what I'll do is bring this, select, drag and drop, drag and place it here, bring this, okay, to here. So it's like we are giving an extension of fog here. Then along with that, when I see this, I just feel like this size is too big. I'm gonna reduce spotlight cone angle. I'm gonna reduce spotlight cone angle, which is considering like looking at this particular area in the back. So my window size is only up to here, right? I want within that only. So cone angle, I'm gonna reduce. It was 40 earlier, I made it 30, which is something like this. And when you press T, you can move it, bring out, you can move it inside, you can do things like this. Now what I'll do, after this, I'm gonna take a render. Okay, great. So you are able to see the fog here, right? So I think we need to play really carefully here, or it's kind of a placement of the lights which we need to do. Okay, I want this light to be here then. Okay. So the thing is, I'm gonna take this thing bit out, place it here. Okay, great. Then what I'll do, let me change the position of my view. Okay, so now what I'll do, this is how the light is working. I'll go to spotlight. Penumbra, I can increase, okay, for time being, let it be 10. But here what I'll do, I'll select the spotlight again. Okay. Under light fog, let me just take a render. Under light fog, okay, you can see the light fog is over here. Okay. So what I'll do, under light fog, fog spread I'll do. When I increase the spread and when I take a render, you can see fog here. So I'll just go for an IPR. You can see the changes, both what is happening, what I'm doing for the fog. Okay. In the IPR, you need to select a region. Okay, IPR is not working for cone angle changing and all. I need to take a render. I'll take a render again. I think this is something okay. I can do some placement changes and all later. That's okay. We'll see. So I reduce the fog intensity, sorry, fog spread, or else I'll do one thing. For fog spread, you have checker box. Click on this. Okay, I'll go to 2D texture. I'll add noise. Okay, then I'll take a render. When I add noise, cool. This is what you get. See the scene, right? Now I'll increase this spotlight cone angle. Then I'll take a render. This is what we are getting. You can see a lot of changes and all. But how do we take a render is, we need to do kind of an healthy cheat while doing a render. So that I'll show you how to do now. Cone angle, it's okay. I'm just gonna reduce something like this. Drop off, I'll increase a bit, so that little bit I'm gonna increase. When I take a render, it's like this. See, because of light, you can create something like a god rays. These are like god rays also. When you type god rays, you get some rays something like this, right? Now again, that's, as I told you, we are doing a healthy cheat. You select cam. I'm gonna set this, saving the camera. So view, select camera, so that I'm selecting perspective camera. I'll just come down. You have environment. Click on environment. The background color of environment is black. Make this into white. Okay. So this was your previous scene, rendered scene. Now I'll take a render again. Great. So you're not able to recognize from which particular part you are getting this rays. This is how it was looking, so that you can easily recognize, right? Okay, means there are dark areas. Now see, this is good. Now I can still play with my light. So what I'll do is, I'll select this light and come to spotlight again. I can work on the intensity now. increase the intensity part. Okay. Then I'll go for this. I'll save this. I'll take a render. Your fog, these are a bit brighter compared to the previous shot. This is how it was earlier. Now this is how it is looking. Getting any doubts? Bayabunga, Bayanda? Any doubts?
It's clear, sir.
Great, man. So even what I'll do, I'll just go to outliner. In the outliner, I have ambient light, right? So what I'll do for ambient light, I'm gonna increase the intensity to 0.4, and it's anyhow it's white. I'm gonna take a render. So now the overall area, it's even more lit. Okay. This was the previous. Now this is what it is. Now instead of ambient light, let me change the ambient light to point light. You can change this to point light. So now take a render. That's a different one. If it is a point light, your light looks something like this. You know, it will be even more natural, I can say. There are some dark areas also. Okay, it should be there. Few dark areas also should be there. Okay. Okay. So let's say this is an example for an interior part. So what I'll do, I'll just save this as light fog. Okay, now I'll save this, save scene as another one, light fog for exterior. Okay, so for exterior, what I'll do, great man, thank you. I think my Maya is getting freezed again. I'm in perspective. Okay, view. Okay, panel, perspective, go back to perspective. So let me create one more camera, panel, look through selected. Great, I'm just looking through another camera now. Okay, I have taken one more camera. I'm just looking through the camera. So what I was saying is, you know, like, let me just create. Okay, I'll go to Windows. Content browser. There's something called content browser. This I've already explained. In the content browser, you have so many things available, right? Earlier, this was called as Visor. Okay, now this is browser, content browser. So instead of Paint FX, okay, in Paint FX, just come down. You have trees and all, and trees mesh also is there. I'll just take palm trees or red pines heavy. I'm just selecting this red pines tree. So what I'll do is I'm going to increase the size. Just a minute. As I was saying, you know, like you can create an ecosystem itself within this. So that's one particular part. Okay, you can see something like this. So now what I'll do, I'm going to hide these areas. So I'll select this poly and I'm going to add this into this, hide this area. Okay. And Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just selecting this. These are paint effects, right? So I need to convert this into polygon first. So go to modify, convert. You have paint effects here, paint effects to polygon. Convert this to paint effects to polygon. So it will convert, it takes some time. Okay, great, it has converted. So now what I'll do, I'm gonna create a simple road or pathway for this. Something like this, okay? So normally, okay, I need to take a, okay, I'll just do the placement over here, a little bit up, and I press target. This is a bit down, and click on this, so that bring this. So you'll get a bit freedom to work on these fog areas and all here. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I think this is fine. So I'm not creating the entire environment, just one particular scene I'm just showing. So you can just create this also. So I'll take a render. Look, if you do an exterior lighting, it will be even better. Okay. So what I need to do is bring this thing down and go to attribute editor, spotlight, reduce the intensity to 0.7 or something less. Just take a render. It's like this. I can even play with this fog spread where we have added noise, right? What I can do is increase the threshold, take a render. Just see, just play with the threshold and amplitude. Okay, then frequency ratio. You can just play with some of the frequency ratio here so that you get different variations in the fog. Okay, amplitude I have reduced. That's why you get very little. I'll take a render. I'm increasing amplitude. Hope you should be getting more. Getting? So you can create an environment also, like you can add few more trees and all. So you can come up with this output. Okay, like God rays and all. Okay, any doubts? Bayabanga, Bayanda? Any doubts, Bayabanga, Bayanda?
No doubts.
Great. So what you have, good. What you have to do is you need to create two things. One is an interior, one is an exterior. So the entire creativity, it is up to you. Okay. There are so many tools, now. You have created earlier some other game sets and all. So come up with any of that. Create one interior, create an exterior, two things. Okay. And show me the output. Okay.
Okay.
Great then, guys. Have a great week ahead. Okay. See you in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.